welcome. My name's Emily, and today I have for you a yoga sequence on how to do our crow pose or Bakasana. So we'll move through a couple of asanas to just kind of prepare and warm up the body for our crow pose before we actually give it a go. So you may want some blocks with you today. If you don't have blocks, we can always use some thick, sturdy books instead. And when you're ready, just come join me on your mat. We'll begin really nice and simple with some cat-cows, except we're going to flip our wrists. So rather than having the fingers pointing forwards, we'll bring the fingers pointing inwards towards their knees. And this may already feel like quite a lot. If this stretch can already feel quite intense in those wrists, but that's why we're warming up here today, just to warm up and build some strength in the wrists as the balancing pose, our crow pose, just put a lot of pressure on our wrists here. And we'll just add in some cat-cow. So on our inhale, draw the belly down, lift the chest and chin up. Exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine, bring your chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, round. Inhale, come back to your neutral tabletop, and then just gently, one by one, we can release those wrists. We can come back to sit up on the heels and just take a moment to roll out those wrists. We can just clench the fists together and just roll them out. Roll them in both ways. Great. And then from here, we'll find our way into a plank. So bring the hands shoulder width apart and bring the feet together. Core is engaged here, and we're going to strengthen our chaturanga. So as we exhale, bend to the elbows and lower yourself down with control, and we'll hold for here. And we'll just breathe for 3, 2, 1. Exhale slowly. Continue lowering yourself down, untuck the toes, and just inhale, lift the chest and chin up to our upward facing dog. Exhale, bend the knees, tuck the toes under and lift the hips up to your downward facing dog. Take a moment to just paddle out the feet and stretch out the legs. On your next inhale, lifting up the left foot and stepping it between the hands. We can gently drop the back knee down and bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot. So we come into our lizard just to help open up the hips a little here. And we want to be squeezing that left knee into the shoulder, so we're nice and active in this asana. And reaching the chest through. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. We can then walk that left foot back to the center. We can frame the foot with the palms. Tuck the back toes under and lift the knees. Step it back to your downward facing dog. Take a moment to paddle out the feet. Inhale, shift your weight into your plank. And again, we'll come back to our chaturanga. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower yourself down, and we'll hover here. Deep breaths. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, continue lowering yourself down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Paddling out the feet again, stretch out those legs. And then inhaling, lifting up the right foot and stepping between the hands. We can gently drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. And then bringing your right hand to the inside of the right foot. And resting in our lizard. We can be up on the palms or maybe on the forearms here, whatever feels good for you. And again, we're squeezing that right knee in towards the right shoulder here. We're active in this asana. Deep breaths. One more breath. Exhaling, just simply step back your right foot so we come back to our tabletop. We can then just find our way to sit, and we'll bring ourselves down to lying on our backs. So just casually bring yourself down to lying and bring both the knees in towards your chest. And we'll practice a supine crow pose. So just to help our body become familiar with the alignment and how our body is supposed to be, or not supposed to be, but you know what I mean. Just so that our body knows how to feel in our crow pose. So keeping the knees into the chest, I want you to just extend the arms up into the sky, almost like we're pressing the ceiling away from us. So we're spreading those fingers out, and the arms are in line with the shoulders here. We're not reaching up overhead or down here. We're reaching directly up, pushing the ceiling away from us. And then engaging your core, pull the knees in towards the armpits. Maybe the knees kind of touch the backs of the arms here. Maybe they touch the elbows. Wherever we come to, engage the core so that we're squeezing those knees in towards the arms. And we're squeezing the legs into the midline of the body. Nice active stretch. So we're pressing those arms away so that the shoulders come up off the mat, and we can lift the head up as well here. Engaging the whole body. Press, press, press. Exhale, gently release. Whew. Beautiful. Maybe a little rock from side to side. And then just rolling over onto one of your sides, we'll then find our way into our crow pose. Okay, so now we can move into having a go at our Bakasana or crow pose. So we'll want to grab hold of our trusty friendly little blocks here, or books if we don't have any blocks. And we're going to place these blocks right where the feet will be. And so we can just come up to stand on top of our blocks, and we'll bring the hands down towards the mat so we can very generously bend the knees here. And we'll gradually work our way up to our crow. So from here, maybe we can bring the knees in towards the elbows. And one by one, just taking your time to find what feels comfortable. You don't have to lift off just quite yet. So just finding your comfortable resting position. Maybe that's with the knees in the armpits. Maybe the knees, again, are on the backs of the arms. Or maybe even the knees come to rest on top of the elbows. So just finding your comfortable resting point here. Take a moment to find what feels comfortable. So I'm tucking my knees in towards my armpits. And as I exhale, I'll gently lean into this asana. And one by one, I will pick up the toes off the block. Maybe we start with one toes, bring those down. And then we'll bring up the other toes. Hold and bring those back down. And if we feel quite comfortable with that, we can always pop the blocks aside. We don't have to use the blocks here. We can try straight from the mat. So again, planting those palms, bend the knees, draw the knees in towards the armpits, the backs of the elbows, or even the elbows. And then one by one, lifting up one foot at a time. Maybe we can lift both feet up. And finding your balancing point in your crow. So just have a play around here. Like, don't worry about being able to get into the asana just yet. We want to find what feels comfortable. You may find you come away with some nice bruises on the backs of the arms today. So just keep practicing, keep playing. So we can bring those palms back onto the mat. We can always use the blocks underneath the feet again to elevate the hips. Oops. So keep playing. Plant those palms into the mat. Lift the hips up. We can bring those knees either to the elbows. Maybe even we squeeze on the outsides of the elbows. And lifting one knee up, one foot up at a time. Beautiful. And again, you can always take a break in between practicing your crow pose here. As it is intense on the wrists and it is a balancing asana as well. So it certainly works the whole body here. So again, let's try again. We can bed into those knees. Bring the knees to your comfortable position, whether that's in the armpits, on the backs of the arms, or the elbows. And leaning into this asana, gently bringing the toes up off the mat. We're pulling the core in and we're rounding in the spine, pressing the mat away from you. Oh, nice deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale. Ooh, gently lower yourself back down. And you can continue playing with your crow pose here. Take little breaks in between your practice. Again, it's not everything to achieve these asanas. At the end of the day, these asanas that we practice are all just to help us sit comfortably in our meditation, as that's the whole point of our yoga asana practice. It's just so that we can be comfortable enough in the body so that we can sit comfortably to meditate. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little flow. Hopefully you had a little bit of fun today. If you like the video, please like, save for later, maybe leave me a comment below and subscribe to my channel for more free yoga content. Thanks again for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Namaste.